Duncan Smith, I interviewed David Cameron yesterday about a mile away. What has he got wrong that you think you've got right?
Well, we can't control migration if we are in the European Union, because we've seen migration coming over from the European Union on huge numbers, and most of them are taking low-skilled jobs, driving wages down, and that's affected people. It's also put huge pressure on health service, schools, and also housing. Young people now find it difficult to buy or rent a house because of the costs are so great, because the pressure on demand has risen so much. So my point is, we need to leave to get back control of migration. Most of our laws are now made in Brussels, so we need to leave to get back control of our lawmaking. And finally, I want to make treaties for trade with America, Japan and India, and we haven't been able to do that within the European Union. So alone on our own, trading and cooperating with the European Union, we'll be friends and get on with them. We're members of NATO, the G8. So yeah, great stuff.
The polls are looking favourable at the moment, but people are going to expect things on from Friday at the end of June, aren't they? What do you think people are expecting, and what can you actually deliver in the first weeks or months?
Immediate action is what they want, and that's exactly what we can do. We need to immediately take action to end our relationship officially with the European Union, and all the other discussions are about what things we want to keep and what they want to keep, such as access to trade and marketplace, which I know they all want to, because we're such a huge and important marketplace for all of them. So I'm very positive about this.
My final question is, things have got quite volatile out here in the market square whilst you're in there. There's a lot of unpleasantness.
Was it?
Yeah, and, and there's some people...
Well, there were about 3 or 4 Remainers who decided, they obviously thought that Boris was here because they all had Boris masks on, but I was sorry to disappoint them. The reality is that we had a lot of people out here. I talked to a lot of people in the market who had nothing to do with either camp, and most of those wanting to leave, and I think that tells you everything you need to know. The truth is the Remain camp needs to be very careful. What they're trying to do is use abuse now. Abuse. Is that the beginning and the end of their story? Because if that's all it is, I tell you what the public's going to say. If there's nothing positive to say, then stop playing the man or the woman, play the ball. And the ball is whether you want to stay or leave. And we want to leave because it's better for Britain to leave. And that's the argument I'm making to people. I'm not threatening any individual, and I'm not being rude about any individual. But Remain, well, you saw today, they managed to get 3 or 4 people together to come and scream and hurl abuse. Well, that's fine, they can go on doing that. There aren't enough of them, by the way, to get around. But those that there are need to think about saying to people a positive reason for staying. I haven't heard one yet.